life disrespecting you every single day is another day that you have gone in a direction that is out of alignment with where you actually say you want to go.
This is the Deep Dive with Adam Roa.
Yo, yo, yo. What is up, Deep Divers? Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Deep Dive Podcast. It's just you and me today. Adam Roa, your host here. And before I get started, just want to remind you that thecreatecommunity.com, we are putting on free live events every single day, and we just launched our premium classes. And so if you have been wanting to work with me in any sort of coaching capacity, if you've been wanting to enroll yourself into a coaching curriculum, and when I say coaching, what I really mean is, do you want to learn from people who have put in years and years and years of study into things like business, into PTSD, into somatic trauma release, into spirituality and plant medicine, into building seven-figure businesses? If you want to learn from those people, that is what this membership is for. So I encourage you to go over to thecreatecommunity.com, check out our premium membership. If you sign up before June 1st, we are offering 50% off your first 3 months. This is the first coaching offering that I personally have made available in over a year. So for those of you who've been reaching out and saying, yeah, oh, do you coach? Do you have any programs? Do you have any workshops? This is it. This is it. So head over there, check it out. And then lastly, please subscribe to the channel, share this out with your friends, leave a review on iTunes. All of that stuff is very beneficial in just continuing to see this podcast grow and be shared. And I do this because I love it so much. I love being able to tune in with you deep divers. So thank you for helping me and helping spread this message of love and compassion. And that's really what this is about. And today is about integrity. There has been a number of things that have showed up in my life recently as I've been dealing with a few different business opportunities and things. And I've seen a bit of action that has been taken that I personally feel is not in full integrity. And whether that's empirically true or not is not the point. I've spoken about if there is actually absolute truth, and this isn't about that. This is not saying that their truth is more or less true than my truth. What this is about today is speaking on how our integrity for ourselves is one of the most important factors in designing the life that you want to lead. And the reason for that is because what is integrity? Integrity is being true for yourself to your word, to your values, and being someone who can be leaned into structurally. And so think about that, the integrity of a structure, right? Like, how does it hold up? Similarly, if one of your values is honesty, okay, and how is your integrity with that value? Do you hold it no matter what? If suddenly you're looking at getting in trouble, does the honesty value kind of go out the window if you're going to get in trouble? If you're facing severe ramifications financially, if you don't kind of fudge numbers or something like that, are you going to fudge the numbers? Right? Think of how many major corporations have come out and realized that they, through their weird, unintegrous banking and accounting, have made it seem one way when it's not actually that way, right? And so if you have a different value beyond honesty, right? If you have a value of compassion, okay, can you be in integrity around that value when you are dealing with someone who holds incredibly different values than you? If someone is calling you names, if someone is really just triggering the hell out of you, can you keep in compassion? If that's a value, can you hold compassion in your heart? Can you stay in integrity for that? Or when that pressure builds up, does it break? The reason why this is so important for designing the life that you want to lead is because the integrity that you hold is a part of a frequency that you are holding internally, but also then exuding externally. And as you know, I've spoken about this a lot on this podcast. If you are holding a particular frequency and that is what is going out into the world, that world is going to reflect that frequency back to you. The people who are not a match are going to fall away. The people who are a match are going to be magnetized, the opportunities, the different ways, that sort of thing. An example, in case any of you are new and haven't heard this concept before, is if you're walking around the world and you're just unhappy, you don't like your life, you don't like yourself, and you're walking through the world, that's the frequency you're putting out. There is going to be people in your life that you're going to see through the lens of confirming to you how you are not enough, how you are not likable. You're probably going to have people in your life who treat you poorly because you have low self-esteem. And so you don't actually feel like you deserve to be treated better than that. And so that creates this feedback loop, and we get caught in this cycle. And the people who are unaware of how they are contributing to this think that the world is just a terrible place. They think that people are awful. They think that they're not likable, and without realizing that their internal environment is what is going out, and the external environment is reflecting it back to them, right? And so when it comes to integrity of your values, every step that you take out of integrity, every single one, is taking you in a direction that is not aligned with the values that you say are important. And like a ship that starts out and is 1 degree off course, the longer it goes, the longer it sails with 1 degree off course, it will wind up at a destination that is very, very far, miles and miles and miles far from where it originally wanted to go. Similarly, if you feel yourself, you're in a fork in the road and you're like, okay, I know that the fork that I want to take, the path I want to take is to the right, because that's taking me to the mountaintop that I aspire to be at. That's where I have a really happy marriage and a loving relationship with my children. And that's where I have lots of fun and travel and play and financial prosperity and all of those things. And you say, well, let me just start on the path on the left. At this fork in the road, I'm going to take the path on the left just for a while. And you go, and you go. Every step you take takes you further away from the mountaintop that you said you want. That's where integrity comes into play. The values that you say you want, honesty, compassion, play, adventure, like whatever it is for you, can you hold integrity for those values for yourself? If you say, these are the values that I hold, every step you take out of integrity takes you further away from the reality that's possible for you if you stay in integrity. If you want a life where you are surrounded by people who respect you, if respect is a value and you hold that in integrity for yourself, and you allow yourself to be disrespected. And what I mean is someone in your life calls you names, tells you you're not enough, is dishonest with you, whatever it is, and you allow yourself to be disrespected. Every single day that you don't hold the boundary of respect, and you continue to allow that person to be a part of your life, disrespecting you every single day, is another day that you have gone in a direction that is out of alignment with where you actually say you want to go, based on the values that are important to you. And so just like a ship that sailed for 5 days, 1 degree off course correcting is a big deal at that stage versus course correcting after 5 minutes. Similarly, so many people find themselves in this spiral of acting out of integrity with their values for years and years and years. And then they're like, it would take so much to get to course correct. I would have to quit my job. I would have to end my relationship. I would have to get new friends. Boom, 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 XYZ. And the answer is yes. But the only reason that's the case is because of how long you were out of integrity. So my invitation to you is to take a real good hard look at what are the values that are important to you, and are you currently holding them in integrity? And if you're not, are you willing to cut away the ways that you're not holding it and start to live a more integrous life. That is going to look like changing things that you have been doing that have kind of just been little ways that you've been out of integrity, not holding your firm boundaries. And it can be incredibly uncomfortable. And I know that, and I get that. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. But what I am saying is if ultimately you know that you are going to make that decision and you are going to live in integrity with your values each and every day, and you want a life that reflects that, it will only get harder to make that change every single minute that passes from this point forward. If you are walking that path to the left, every single step you take takes you further from the path on the right. So start today. Start immediately. Make a commitment to yourself. That's where integrity starts. It's the commitment to yourself. If there's a lack of integrity, if someone shows up in relationship with me in a way that I feel like is not in full integrity, it starts because they're not in integrity with themselves and the values that they've set are important. And if they show up in a certain way with me and I say, wow, that dishonesty is not a part of my experience. I don't desire to have any relationships where I feel like I have to wonder if they're telling me the truth. That is me holding my boundary of honesty. That's my integrity to say, now I'm not going to have this person be a part of my life. And to what degree that looks like, meaning I may have the conversation and say, hey, if you lie to me again, I don't feel like I can be in relationship with you. That might be what I do, or it might be once is enough. Kind of depends. There's not a right or wrong. You get to decide that. But I encourage you to start today. I encourage you to start immediately. Get clear on what your values are, what you're willing to hold in integrity, what you're working on but haven't really fully committed to yet. That's fine too. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to figure this all out immediately. But are you taking the steps each and every day to be the best version of yourself? This podcast was a start. It's a continuation. The fact that you're asking these questions, you're listening to this sort of stuff, and the next step is applying it to your life. Thank you for doing that. If this is valuable to you, please help me share it out, spread that, post it on social media. And above all else, I want you to remember that always, in all ways, you are seen, you are heard, and you are loved.